I truly feel like any person that is contemplating going on reality TV and putting your family out there should watch Gwen Brown's YouTube channel. She is currently reacting to season 2 of Sister Wives, which of course is the reality show that has documented her family since she was about 9 or 10 years old. She just uploaded her reaction to the time her parents went to New York, and I think they were interviewed for the Today Show. It was early season 2. This was a pivotal moment in the Brown family because it really thrust all of them, including the kids, into the spotlight. When Gwen reacts to these episodes, she often adds little anecdotes that are relevant to the scenes that she is reacting to. Something she shared in this video made me feel really bad for her. It also made me think that it has to be incredibly difficult to be the kid of famous parents. Let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. If you watched the Amazon docuseries Shiny Happy People, you probably remember them making several comparisons between the Kardashians and the Duggars. While there might be some similarities, one thing we can be certain of is the families that document their lives for TLC are not making Kardashian level money. The kids in the Kardashian family go to an exclusive private school in Los Angeles, and Kim Kardashian has even talked about the fact that she has hired private security for her kids while they are at school. The Duggars homeschooled their kids, but the Browns, by the time they were launching their reality show, they had enrolled most of their kids in public school. Sister Wives was a huge success, and I often wondered what it was like for the kids navigating reality TV stardom. The adults in the Brown family have been able to parlay their fame into revenue-producing income streams that aren't your standard 9-to-5 jobs. But their kids have had to matriculate in the real world. At different points in time, the Browns did do homeschooling and had their kids in private school. But by this point in the show where they were going public, they had enrolled their kids in public school. Gwen mentions in this reaction video that Robin's kids were actually already going to public school, so they were able to follow suit. I think a lot of them were excited to go to public school. In this particular episode, we see the Brown adults go to New York to do press for the series. The idea of polygamy in the mainstream was still a novel idea, so Kody was fielding a lot of questions about whether or not he would take on more wives or whether or not the person he was speaking to would qualify as new wife potential. Gwen adds one of her anecdotes here that she actually had a teacher when she was in school that was obsessed with her dad.
Can I be the fifth wife?
Now my mom's saying, that was a serious problem with women just wanting my dad. It was so, I had a teacher at one point that I had to switch classes because she was so creepy about it. Garrison had her longer. She was weird, so weird. I could tell you stories about her from his perspective. I only had like 3 days where I had to deal with her, but she was weird. Oh my gosh, she wasted like half of an entire class just gossiping with me about how much she loved my family. And I was like, I'm just trying to learn Spanish, lady.
Gwen mentions that this was a serious problem, women wanting her dad. To me, that is such an interesting phenomenon. For some reason, it really reminds me of these notorious criminal trials that become really famous and women end up throwing themselves at the convicts. I've heard Scott Peterson has gotten quite a bit of fan mail. I'm not saying that Kody is equivalent to Scott Peterson, but the dude has 4 whole ass wives and at this time, 16 kids. I mean, like Scott Peterson, he's pretty unavailable. I really would love to have a sociologist or maybe bring back the anthropology students to weigh in on what causes women to kind of throw themselves at objectively unavailable men. Gwen had a teacher that was so obsessed with her dad, she actually had to switch classes. Apparently, Garrison also had this teacher and had to suffer under her tutelage for longer than Gwen did. How inappropriate and cringe. Gwen said that she thought to herself, hey, I'm just trying to learn Spanish, lady, and all this teacher wanted to do was talk about her family. I'm not sure why Gwen was able to transfer classes and Garrison wasn't. I think probably it had something to do with Christine probably got involved if Gwen said something, and if Garrison never said anything, Janelle probably was none the wiser. Also, maybe this teacher thought that with Gwen being a girl, she would be more open to having a gab fest about her dad than, say, Garrison. Who knows? Gwen says that she could tell us stories, and I really hope she does. That is so creepy and bizarre. It's not like if you were to encounter some marginally famous person, if you were working as a server in a restaurant or retail or something like that. When I lived in New York, I worked for Verizon, and we would from time to time have famous people come into our store. And even when I worked there in my early 20s, I had the common sense not to risk my job in order to bother some celebrity for a picture or an autograph. Keep it cute, keep it classy. That's what I always say. But what Gwen is describing is exceptionally gross because this is your teacher and they are in a power position, and Gwen was a minor at the time. That is just super cringe. And then add on top of that the fact that nobody wants to hear how much of a hunk you think their dad is. I think we can all agree that kids should have a sense of safety at school where their only priority is to learn. I can't imagine what it would be like to be questioning the motivations of your classmates and even your teachers. Honestly, this is a story someone should seriously keep in mind as a cautionary tale if you're ever considering applying to be on reality TV. People don't always have boundaries, and you certainly cannot assume that people will have respect for yours or your children's. Obviously, I talk a lot on this channel on things that I think the Brown adults have done wrong when it comes to child rearing. But actually, even with this story in mind, I think putting their kids in public school was a good decision that the Brown adults made. It's likely a big contributing factor to why none of the kids have pursued polygamy for themselves, because they were given something, the freedom of choice. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at realiteasquad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.